Today we're going to take a look at our government leaders, taking a look first at our mayor, Joseph Hogsett. He's the leader of our city. He holds his place in office for 4 years before a new election. He can be elected as many times as the people vote for him.
What party you follow or what fellowship you keep, to all of you, to one city, I am humbled, I am honored, and I'm ready to get back to work as the mayor of the city of Indianapolis.
Next, we'll be taking a look at the current governor of Indiana, who is Eric Holcomb. He is the leader of our state. He holds his place in office for 4 years before a new election. The governor for Indiana can be elected 2 terms in a row, then must take at least 1 term off to go and get elected again. You might have seen Eric Holcomb a lot in the news recently.
Infrastructure. Governor Eric Holcomb joins us here in the studio to talk about these issues and much more. Welcome to South Bend, Governor.
It's so good to be back, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell me a little bit about what brings you to our area.
Well, we are at the halftime of our legislative session. I'm not Lady Gaga, but I do have a good report to present.
Taking a look at our next government leader is the current Vice President, Mike Pence. He serves 4 years alongside the president that was elected at the same time as him. If that president should not be able to perform his duties anymore, the vice president will take over. The vice president can be elected as many times as the people vote for him, and potential presidents select him. He was also, at one point, our state governor.
Pence is a staunch social conservative who is reportedly well-liked in Republican circles. However, as a child, Pence was an altar boy in a Catholic church, and even once considered becoming a priest. Today, Pence calls himself a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order.
I accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States of America.
The last government leader, of course, we're talking about would be the current President of the United States, which is Donald Trump. He is the leader of our country. He holds his place in office for 4 years before a new election. The president is only allowed to serve 2 terms.
I'm Donald Trump. I wrote The Art of the Deal. I say not in a braggadocious way. I've made billions and billions of dollars dealing with people all over the world, and I want to put whatever that talent is to work for this country. So we have great trade deals. We make our country.
As a review, identifying the differences between these different leaders. You need to also know who your current leaders are. Reviewing, we have the mayor, who is a member of the city council and makes speeches and signs legal documents. He is usually the leader of the city government. The mayor serves for a term of 4 years, and the office is not subject to term limits. Remember, a term is how long they can serve. A person is eligible to serve as mayor if he or she has resided in the city for 1 year prior to the election and is 18 years of age, in charge of the city. All right, and Indiana's current governor is Eric Holcomb, right? He's in charge of the state of Indiana. What does he do? He signs bills into law or vetoes them, issues executive orders, kind of like the ones we've been dealing with now with the stay-at-home orders, and is the commander-in-chief of the state armed forces. Again, can only have a 4-year term, but has 2 terms in a row they can serve, have to have an additional one off, and then they can serve for 1 more term. To become governor of Indiana, a candidate must have been a United States citizen, lived within Indiana for the period of 5 consecutive years together, right? Consecutive means in a row. At least 30 years old when sworn into office. Our current vice president is Mike Pence. The vice president is the man that helps the president get all of his work done. He serves 4 years alongside the president that was elected at the same time as him. He is usually selected by the president when he is running for office and is voted alongside the president. Speaking of the president, there's Donald Trump, our current country's president. He's in charge of our country, the United States of America. What does he do? He signs bills into law and can veto, decides how the laws of the United States are to be enforced, chooses officials, and advises to help run the executive branch. All military generals and admirals take their orders from the president and serves a 4-year term and can only serve 2 terms, right? Remember, the term is how long they serve as that position. To become president, you need to be a native-born U.S. citizen, or if you're born outside of that country, you have to be born only to parents, at least one of whom was a U.S. citizen at the time. So you have to be born to a U.S. citizen who might have been traveling, be at least 35 years of age, and must live in the United States for at least 14 years to be president, in addition to being a natural-born citizen. So I hope that this informed you about our government leaders, and make sure that you're studying this study guide. You will be having a test soon.